Hello! Welcome back to Dungeons and Distancing, Plague Winds of Ravenloft. I'm here with my lovely players, these incredible cast. And we are going to continue on this adventure in Borovia. But first, as usual, we need to talk about that this is a fundraiser raising money for direct relief for COVID-19. Everyone's aware of this is happening. I don't need to explain what it is. Go to the link in the description. It goes straight to health workers, Doctors Without Borders, just directly to. And we have a goal of $10,000. We are at $2,658. So we are aiming to try and get this to 10K by the end of the campaign, which will be, I don't know, somewhere between 4 to 6 sessions. Who knows? But either way, we got some time. So with that said, I'm going to do a quick live edit because Discord borders are showing up. So oops on my part. But yeah, so that should be good.
Well, that way they'll know who's talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking at the lips. If you just see borders, you don't see
Man,
faces.
I can't believe you wrote this whole thing into the script this week. It's amazing.
I know, it's flawless. So with that, sorry, I had to do some like last second reset up for this. So if things are off or anything's off, feel free to yell at me in chat and then someone else can yell at me in real life.
That's okay, Nate.
Ah.
That's okay.
All right. So let's go ahead. Everyone ready to pick up where we left off?
Yeah.
Yay!
Trying to get my RORN voice is difficult.
Mm-hmm. A little, okay.
Hello there. Okay, here we go.
Let's wait.
Gonna get all the way down here.
So the story goes, 50 years have passed since the end of the Blood Era, a reign of horror and despair as the curse of a dark warlord overtook the land of Borovia, isolating the land and its citizens for God knows how long. Last you left off, you met a camp of Vistani, a group of people in Borovia known as the Devil's Chosen People, who now face hatred and prejudice in this post-curse world. After meeting with their clairvoyant madame, Lady Sandra, you learned 2 important things. A, her tarot cards and powers have been sending her the message that Baba Lysaga, the supposed mother of the devil, has some important role in the strange occurrences happening lately in Borovia. And B, reports and rumors of weird happenings in Castle Ravenloft, which is the mighty main castle of the entire land that you can pretty much see from almost wherever, as long as your view isn't obstructed by cliffs, trees, forests, etc. Weird things supposedly have been happening there, and those rumors have made their way around, which is where you decided that come the next day, you're going to head over and investigate to see if you can find answers to the plague winds, which is a strange disease that seems to be infecting people at random, leaving them stiff as a board, teeth a clatter, and eyes staring off into tomorrow. You took rest at the Vistani campsite, which is where you wake up now. So you all get a long rest. Hooray!
Where's the eggs?
BOPHADES leans up. Were we in beds? Are we in bedrolls? Where were we sleeping?
They were
What was our sleeping situation?
bedrolls in various carriages around the campfire.
BOPHADES sits straight up and says, "BOPHADES greets the day! Ha! With gusto!"
I'm not gonna get used to that.
That one sure is loud, ain't he?
Well, at least we'll always wake up on time.
Are we, did you say we were on the lake?
Yeah, you were next to
Like on the lake.
Lake Zarevich.
Lake Zarevich, okay. BOPHADES will, leap out of bed and immediately make a run to the lake and take a morning swim.
Nice.
And, like, just right into the lake.
Beautiful. So how good of a swimmer are you? Are you like doing laps or just going for a refreshing?
We're doing laps. He's going for it.
Okay, cool. So you wake up and you see BOPHADES. Is BOPHADES always shirtless?
Yes.
Okay.
Bophades doesn't wear a shirt. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't establish that earlier.
Yeah. Okay. So you see
Yeah.
BOPHADES, and this just gloriously large chiseled man is just swimming laps up and down the side of the lake. BOPHADES, can you roll a perception check for me?
Sure.
You roll a sexiest
yeah.
check with that lack of shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he doesn't need to roll for that. Okay.
It's a passive ability.
Wait, perception. Okay, that's gonna be a 13.
Okay. You the lake goes pretty deep, and
Mhm.
it goes deep to where you have a hard time seeing the floor. It's also a bit on the murky side. It's not crystal clear water.
Sure.
But it goes pretty far down, so you have a hard time seeing the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You do see a few things that you can kind of make out on what you're assuming is the floor of the lake. You can see like branches, seaweed kind of growing up out. So you can see below you there's, vegetation. There's a couple little fishes swimming around. And as you're swimming, you see sticking out almost lifelessly from a bundle of the seaweed a hand.
Okay. Can I roll an insight to see if I can tell if it's alive or not?
You could try.
Okay. That's gonna be 17.
Okay. It looks pretty darn dead.
Okay. Okay, this is always hard because when I play dumb characters, I have to tell myself, he's dumb, but is he that dumb?
He's not dumb, he's BOPHADES.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure BOPHADES would know what a corpse would look like, right?
Yes, he does. Okay. So, yes, he has reduced many evildoers to that before.
Yes.
So he'll immediately swim back to shore.
Okay.
And get out and look for I guess one of our contacts that we met last night.
Yeah. You see
Right.
Boris, the big
Boris.
friendly guy, is up and about.
Sure. I will run up to Boris and say, Boris, BOPHADES has spotted a body in the lake.
Says, good morning to you, friend.
It's how you say good morning.
Yeah, he's still, waiting on the answer. He's still like buffering.
Oh, you mean actual body is in lake? Well, that
BOPHADES
is...
has discovered a body in the lake. Perhaps foul play is afoot.
Well, it would be a good place to get rid of a body, a lake that a lot of people do not have access to. Good job. You found a body. What do you want to do about it?
Should we not rescue it and find who it belongs to?
Yeah, knock yourself out. Have fun.
Okay. Okay. BOPHADES will go back into the water and go back to the corpse, and so it's where he found the arm sticking out.
Okay. You find it again.
Okay. How deep below me is it?
A couple feet. You'd be able to get to it.
Okay. He'll... Well... Yeah, okay. Let me... Well, it's a corpse. I know it's a corpse.
It might not be.
You know what? He's gonna let this one go. He's gonna let this one go.
Okay.
This is one that he knows. I mean, it's a dead body in the lake.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know anything about it. There's spooky stuff happening. Wait, no, actually, no. He's gonna grab the arm and pull it up. I'm doubling down. I gotta double down on this.
Okay. Make a strength athletics check.
Both of these
Okay.
would totally pull out a body from a lake without any further, just out of passion and just, we've got
What
to
is
find out what's
this?
going on.
That's gonna be 16.
Okay. It's pretty heavy and it feels like it might be it feels like it might have been down here a while to where stuff is starting to like grow around it and it's giving you some resistance. But you pull it up and it's also got some weight to it, but you pull up what feels like a pretty muscular arm. Like
Okay.
it feels pretty toned. And you
Okay.
keep pulling and you keep pulling. And it's kind of like being dragged, just arm first. But you keep pulling it out, and with your roll, you're able to unearth it pretty much, arm reaching up, and as well as its head, and you see its face is a male human. And it's
Okay.
a little bit blurry and murky down here. But you see that it's kind of dark hair. Maybe at one point it still has some facial hair that looks grayed and withered and really, really broad shoulders. And you're able to kind of adjust your focus in the eyes. And you see that its face is yours.
Both of these will continue to pull and think in his head that he has to save that truly the most difficult person to save of all is yourself. And he will continue to pull him to shore.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to keep pulling. Make one more strength athletics check for me.
Sure. That's slightly less at a 15.
Okay. You keep pulling and you're managed to pull it up, but you feel that this body may have been down here for quite a while because all of a sudden it just gives way and let loose. And you can kind of guess that you more or less tore off the top half.
Mhm.
Whether the bottom half was even down there or this whole time it was just the top half and it was just being held or wrapped by something, you now just have the upper half of your own dead body.
Both of these will continue to. My body is free now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can I take it up and take it to shore?
Yeah.
Okay.
You swim up on shore and you can toss this thing out of the water onto the
Yeah.
land.
Both of these will. Do I see anybody else near me now that I'm on shore?
What's everybody else doing?
Is there a bit of a commotion over at the camp because the body, like, what is the general feel of the camp itself after BOPHADES made this announcement?
No one seems to be overly concerned. You get the gist that a body being found in a lake in a place, in a land like this, isn't really newsworthy. Maybe some slight concern,
Would
but
we know about it as party members since BOPHADES kind of rushed ahead and swam, or are we just...
yeah, you heard about it. He said it loud enough.
All right, then I'd probably be at the edge of the lake just waiting for BOPHADES because I don't know what's in this lake. I'm not stepping in it.
Mhm.
I'm just kind of like, I'm just at the edge of the lake, I guess, kind of leaning over. Did BOPHADES? Did you say BOPHADES brought the body back?
Yep.
Already. I would wander over and just be like,
Oh, but this is tragic. Both of these. What happened?
Yeah, you
"Do I
see this. You see a buff torso. You see the upper half of a large man just kind of flopped face down on the shore.
Can I turn the body over and
Yep.
and show?
Mhm.
BOPHADES has discovered. BOPHADES.
Do I actually see BOPHADES' face, or is this something he's experiencing?
He turns it over, and the face is one that none of you recognize.
What do you mean? Is both of these is like a verb and a noun and also an action? I mean, I know your word's your name's very impressive, but
It's a Smurf situation.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, kind of, without saying that.
Do I still see the face as my own?
Nope,
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Oh, it's somebody else.
it's somebody
Okay.
unrecognizable. Not even to where, like there's no facial hair. The hair is actually like very, very long, like shoulder length.
Oh, okay.
It
What?
It doesn't even look like you confuse it. It's a completely different thing you saw in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, BOPHADES will take a second and think, and say, BOPHADES was certain he recognized this body as his own. Perhaps,
You saw your own body?
perhaps the light was playing tricks on BOPHADES.
Maybe.
Whoops.
You might still be in shock because of because you saw a dead body. I understand.
Mhm,
I don't think too much of it, both of these.
mhm.
The good news is that we found it. We should probably find who it belonged to. This person may have had a family, and I'm sure they'll want to know what exactly happened. You did good today, both of these, as I'm sure you'll do plenty of days.
Certainly, BOPHADES believes that this person deserves a hero's burial regardless.
Absolutely, I understand. Apparently, I'm also Sandor the Druid now.
Yep, it looks like we lost Dan. Let me show the thing.
No worries.
You...
Okay, so I'll be Sandor. Hunter, you can be. How does Dan pronounce this character's name? Is it Drade?
Dade?
Dade.
Dade. I keep reading that as an R. I'm so sorry. You can be Dade. I'll be Sandor. RORN will be my sofa. And both of these
Ah,
is
yes.
bigger than life as always.
RORN the sofa.
Sit on me.
Holy shit.
Yowza.
All right.
Wow, Rorn.
Apparently he just has a quick power outage. Well, I don't know if it's quick. Let's see. You know what? Let's BRB really quick. Wait, no,
good.
let's not. No. How do I
Okay.
set up? Interesting. Let's
Okay.
BRB. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a
Nobody
second.
leave. Nobody
I'm on
leave.
a roller coaster of emotions.
Same.
It's all over the place.
Okay, well, we might not have him back, but we at least have a placeholder. So,
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
oh, there he is.
Hey, there he is.
Hey,
He has returned.
I have.
All right, sorry about that, y'all, but we are back. And we were leaving off with a hero's burial, I believe, was in order.
Mhm.
Yes, you said a hero's burial. And
Mhm.
I was
Well,
just like,
we also wanted to ask the village and see if anybody could identify the person.
mhm.
Yeah, you lug this. Well, are you like bringing it around, or are you just asking the?
Oh, I'm asking people. Like, I'll ask Boris if he knows who that person is. Like, I'll go and grab him and be like, I'll take character. I'll walk up to Boris and say, BOPHADES requires your assistance.
Okay, but what do you need?
A body has been found. Do you know who it
Do-
belongs to?
That was a very long pause.
It's like, it would appear a man has fallen into the river. No. Says, I don't recognize him. No friend of ours.
Does he look like these people?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So
Oh,
like as
he
far as
could just-
race wise goes.
Be like a dude.
It's
Yeah.
it's a literal dude.
Okay.
Okay.
And no one else in the
Uh,
camp seems to recognize it either.
Nobody, like, if we walk around, like, nobody recognizes who it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think Warren would paw at his beard a little bit.
And says, so his doesn't belong to your tribe.
Speaking to me or speaking to...
Oh no! Speaking
Oh.
to Boris.
Says,
Oh, okay.
he's like,
Alright.
our tribe. That's an interesting word for it. No, it does not belong to us.
Oh,
And he looks down. He looks a little sheepish.
and says, I'm sorry. In kobold culture,
It's like,
we-
it's fine. We've been called
we
much
grew up in
worse.
tribes.
well,
And he holds up his paws a little bit.
so he doesn't belong to your group.
We
So
don't know him.
Well, that's concerning. Besides the fact it's a dead body,
Yeah.
I'm worried about the fact that it's someone that has washed up on your rather secret village.
Well, God knows how long that's been down there. I mean, it's missing half of it.
And they're kind of like nomads, right? Like, they go from place to place.
Yeah,
So,
they can move
yeah,
their
it could've
camp
been
around.
here-
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so it
gotcha,
could have
gotcha.
been years before they even got here, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
that's
a
me
ton of
asking, that's not BOPHADES.
yeah, there's a ton of scenarios that this could be. The body could
Okay.
have been here before. The body was maybe brought in here. Who knows? But it does look like it's been there for a while.
Okay. Well, regardless, BOPHADES will look for a crate, like an empty crate or something.
Yeah,
Can you
there's a
find
few of
one?
those.
Okay. Can he purchase it from the owner for
He-
a few copper, silver, or whatever?
He just lets you have it.
Okay.
They have a few extra empty crates that aren't really,
Okay.
serving any
Yeah.
purpose. They're like,
Okay.
by all means, if it makes you happy.
BOPHADES, thanks you. He'll go find some dried leaves and sticks and things, and place the upper half of the body in the crate,
Mhm.
and place the sticks and leaves, and place the crate in the water, and set the sticks on fire, and push the crate out into the lake and salute.
All right.
Maybe you should have just left him out there in the first place.
BOPHADES believes everyone deserves a hero's burial.
Did we see the face on this?
Yeah, it was just a dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just a dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. No one seemed to
Oh.
recognize him. or
Warren
no.
nods at towards BOPHADES.
Mm-hmm. BOPHADES stands there, arms akimbo,
Mm.
watching the burning crate float farther
Return
and
back
farther
to the lake.
into the lake.
Well, is anyone hungry?
I was fixing to go rustle up some grub.
Yeah, I could eat.
BOPHADES has never eaten grub before.
Well, just you wait. I cook up a mean breakfast.
Sandor was gonna go into the woods and see if there was like
Guys,
food.
please bring back actual grubs.
So Sandor, you start to head out. Now, there's no real woods attached to the campsite. There is a bit of the lake you're next to. You don't actually see the entire body of it. A section of it is part of this campsite that is shrouded with a barrier of mist.
Okay.
And there doesn't seem to be any visible forest within the walls of it.
Gotcha. Well, since I saw BOPHADES go into the lake,
Mhm.
I would do that too. Assuming it is
Yeah.
safe, since he went in and came back out.
Mhm.
and I'll wild shape, as a matter of fact, into like a. Oh, I want to be a gator.
All right. You gator up. You see Sandor kind of hunch over and transform. And as a gator, what you gonna do?
Swim around looking for marine life.
Yeah.
To apprehend.
Let's see. We're gonna say, I'm just gonna use crocodile.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you see fish. There's fish in the
Interesting.
lake. So if you want to try and grab a few of those, I can have you make, let's call it a strength check. Crocodiles +2. And I'll give it to you at advantage because you're in the water.
cool. All right.
Get drunk and put the bone in the water.
You said it's +2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's an 11.
Okay. So the first attempt at a fish is successful, and you're able to just kind of give it a good chomp. And are you trying to like grapple it and take it, or do you just kind of want to let it float to the surface?
Wow, that's a good idea. I could. Yeah, just like kill them and let them float to the surface. Yeah.
Okay, cool. You see a total of 3 fish. So do 2 more strength checks, both at advantage.
14,
Success.
17.
Success. Okay, you just kind of quickly swim your way through the water, and the rest of you see this alligator, or sorry, gator. This gator go into the lake. A few seconds go by, and then a couple small pools of blood start rising, followed by freshly dead fish that just hit the surface.
And I guess if I could just scoop them all up and
Yeah.
then go back to shore.
Mhm.
And then unwild shape.
Who wants breakfast?
As the fish spill out your mouth.
Yeah, he doesn't take them out. He just
Are we going to cook it?
There is
Or
a
fry it
fire.
up over a fire, perhaps.
Was my plan.
I want to
That
find
seems-
some sticks and make some.
You see
make
the
3
the
fish
Visani have
skewers.
like stuff for like rotisserie
Nice.
available.
Perhaps
so
we
they
can
let you use
bring
it.
these to someone and they'll cook them for us.
I can handle it. Don't trust me?
I didn't say that.
Just you wait. I'm gonna make you a mean fish breakfast.
I look forward to it. I really do.
And I go, and I just go, I look forward to it now. And I kind of like grab one of the fishes and I'm like looking up at Sandor, I'm about to go like Golem on this fish, like Smeagol this fish right now.
Help yourself.
I haven't eaten since yesterday, so I sink my teeth into the raw fish immediately and just like a savage, just tear it up.
All right. For the other 2 fish, I'll say Sandor, roll. We'll say survival for cooking these fish you found.
That's what I was hoping.
Yeah.
Okay. Survival 17. No, sorry, 20.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he cooks you up a mean fish breakfast for anybody interested. The
Yeah,
2
I'm gonna
fish can
bring-
make servings for like 4 or 5.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was gonna bring some to BOPHADES and to DAEDE and maybe bring some to Boris.
Sandor, this is quite excellent.
Glad you like it.
Just maybe perhaps a pinch more of salt, but it's cooked to perfection.
Yeah, you did really good. I'm just still eating like a raw fish.
If you want to try some cooked,
Oh yeah, bring that over.
Can BOPHADES just put the fish in his mouth and just pull out the skeleton like a old Heathcliff cartoon.
Yep. Makes a little
just-
xylophone scale as you pull it out.
Yep.
Yep.
We all know.
BOPHADES enjoyed your breakfast. BOPHADES is thankful.
Well, just glad to help a friend.
All right.
BOPHADES will
Really? And I'm just like looking up after he says Fred.
Do we
Whoop.
see like
clap him on the shoulder.
do we see Lady Sandra or I forgot his name because it's written down in my notebook somewhere. The guy who led us here. We got in
that-
kind of trouble for it.
That would be Namir.
Namir, yes.
Yeah,
Namir, do we see?
you see everybody but Lady Sandra up and about, but you see the glow of candlelight coming from her tent. So you can kind of assess she probably spends most of the day in there, seeing what she can see.
Even though she keeps drawing the same card over
Yep.
and over again.
Just maddeningly, like it has to be different.
What's Namir doing?
He's hanging.
He's hanging.
Nothing out of the ordinary. You can kind of assess
Um,
they more or less just spend their day here, killing time.
Going just with the companions. So, do we want to perhaps go see if there's merit into what Lady Sandra told us last night, as far as what was it again? This person, Baba
Lysaga.
Baba Lysaga.
Mhm.
Is this something we want to do? We need to go to the castle. She said yes. No.
Yeah. Did they basically? Well, this is me talking.
Yeah.
You'll know when I'm speaking in character.
Mhm.
So they said that we needed to go to the castle to investigate the mother. This is where we had to investigate the mother of the devil. Isn't that what they said?
Yeah. Sorry,
Baba
I didn't
Lysaga.
specify. So, Baba Lysaga and Castle Ravenloft were more or less
Yes.
two different points of interest.
Oh,
Baba
ooh,
Lysaga.
okay.
Baba Lysaga. She said her readings and the cards were telling her that something is up with her, and that's really being stressed to her, but she doesn't know what.
And
And
she also drew the Avenger.
what's that?
She drew the Avenger too at that point, right?
That was
Or
another
I
thing.
pulled
yeah.
it.
Yeah, you pulled a completely different card. That she's not really. She kind of conveyed that she didn't really read much importance in it. But then the point of Castle Ravenloft was there had been rumors that something was going on there that is connected to the Plague Winds disease that has been striking randomly.
Got it.
And last time you left off, you were taking a long rest to gear up to potentially investigate the castle before heading to Baba, who she warned you, don't fight. Try and reason with, as hard as that
Okay.
might be.
Did she tell us how to find her, or do we just have to sort of figure it out?
You'd be able to get directions either from her. Actually, in your meeting, she probably gave you a general whereabouts of where to find Baba and the castle.
So is Baba
Lysaga.
more of like a Lysaga?
Mhm.
Is she more of like a folklore person, or is she just like a person that sort of lives around here? She's more of a folklore-ish kind of person.
You didn't get much details on
Okay.
her person, but
Okay.
she's not like a person that's like mythical or rumored. Like
Okay.
she's around.
Okay.
And
Okay. Yeah.
You kind of assess that she's more or less just kind of avoided very often.
Yeah. Not really like if you wander into the woods, you may encounter so and so. She's just like a weirdo that lives out here.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
They told you the supposed mother of the devil, lives in a swamp land that's kind of in the middle of Borovia.
Got it. Okay. Okay. All right.
So what do we think of all this? Should we go inquire about one or both of these things?
BOPHADES believes we should seek Babala Saga first. Perhaps she has important information that may help us.
Regarding the disease that's been happening in town, or
He looks. BOPHADES looks and says, "Correct."
good, very good, excellent. RORN, SANDOR, any opinions?
It's as good a
Ideas?
place to start as any.
I finish the fish, lick my fingers very just violently, and I'm like,
What? Yeah, sure, whatever you need me for. I mean, this is the most fun I've had in months right now. Whatever you need, I'll be by your side.
Well, then, should we perhaps go see if anyone knows where we can find this Babala Saga?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you were in your meeting with Lady Sandra. She had given you more or less rough directions. Let me just make sure I'm looking at the right thing here so I don't misinform y'all. Yes. So she told you that if you seek to meet with Babala Saga, to look for the ruins of Beres. And that's actually not very far from here.
Is
The
it closer than the castle?
Yes. Yeah, definitely a good amount. It's also a much straighter path. Distance-wise, it's... Let's see. Distance-wise to the ruins are about 2-3 miles. Versus the castle is back in the direction you came, but when you go back, there's a fork you need to take a different turn at. And the overall distance is like maybe 4 or 5 miles, but it's a very winding path. So the journey itself is a lot longer unless you stray from the path and try and make a straight shot. But overall, yes, Babala Saga is closer and pretty much a straight shot away from Lake Zarevich.
I think that going to see Babala Saga is correct, to seeing that it's a shorter, more of a day trip. We would be able to make it back here before nightfall.
I'm all for it.
Well, you've got my blades if something goes wrong.
Yeah, we also need to see if we would be even able to get back into camp if we leave. Apparently this place is very difficult to find.
What if we ask our new friend to join us? Maybe
Yeah.
more as a guide, and, well, more hands would probably help if things go wrong.
Perhaps it could be useful, at least for guiding us there and back, at the least.
So is that referring to Namir or Boris?
oh, Namir, to
Namir.
Namir specifically.
Sure.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I guess I'll go up to Namir and say, friend, how are you this morning?
I'm still in a little bit of heat for bringing new friends here, but they seem to be warming up to you. This is good news in my eyes, so could be better, could be worse.
It seems
Well,
to be.
what if we get you in a little more trouble?
And I pound my fist.
That is not a very appealing deal.
What he means to say is, we need someone to guide us to and from somewhere today, and we are wondering if you would be that person, mostly to just get back into camp.
Oh, I don't think I should be heading out today, or any of us for that matter. We try not to leave. It's very risky, as you've probably seen.
But this is a mission given to us by Lady Sandra. I mean, that should give you more than enough leeway to be able to bring us there and back.
Well, from the sounds of it, this is your mission, not mine.
Yes, and we're just simply asking for your help to show us the way. If you don't want to give it to us, well then I guess we may get lost, and then what we find would never get back to Lady Sandra.
Roll persuasion.
Dirty 20.
Ooh!
Not bad.
He says, let me speak to the lady and see what I can Well, that can work out.
Oh, that'd be greatly appreciated.
If you'll excuse me. You see him walk over to the tent.
I turned to the group. It's like, oh God, is that going to work against us?
He enters the tent. A couple minutes go by. You hear the sounds of their voices, but it's kind of muddled by the structure of the tent. And you hear it start to escalate. You hear it get a little bit louder. And you then see Namir more or less flying back first out of the front of the door, just kind of and lands on the ground. She says, and you see her poke her head out the window, says, "You asked me for enough shit. You're fucking pushing it. Now you go do what you need to do. But you understand your place." No, she's saying this to Namir.
Oh, okay.
It's like, but you understand where you are and who you are. And she goes back. And he stands up, kind of brushes himself off, and says, "It went all right.
Good.
I
Yeah.
unfortunately still believe it's not a great idea for us to accompany you. But I do think there is another way I can help."
I mean, yes, but what does she mean? Know your job and know your place.
They don't like us venturing off. Our people are not as common as we used to be around here, so we try to keep it close-knit and stay safe, the few of us that are left.
I understand. Stay home and stay safe.
Exactly. You know, we like to socially distance from, well, pretty much everybody, because everyone hates us. You know how it is. However,
Yes. Well, I don't hate you.
well, thank you.
I'm quite fond of you.
I needed that. That was very nice. Well, here's what I can do for you. If I may. And he kind of holds his hands up, like kind of close to your face. But he like stops and kind of waits for like an
I
approval
put my
gesture.
head in his hands.
He puts his hands around your head and kind of places his thumbs on your temples. And he looks you dead in the eyes. And you see that veins and really like popped out veins start to travel from his eyes as his dark brown eyes of his iris turn a glowing yellow, and the whites of his eyes go completely black. And you feel something. Something feels different mentally. Something within you. And then he just kind of fades back to normal. It says, "You are now a friend of our people. An associate of the Vistani. And with that, you may navigate the Borovian mist as you please."
That seems very useful. Actually, this is more than we could have hoped for. Thank you. Yeah.
And he looks to the rest of you, offers up the same service. If no one's objecting, then he'll perform the same ritual on all of you.
Oh, well,
Into it.
will it hurt? Is there anything I need to do?
Only a little bit.
It's only a slight, like, sinus sting.
Ugh. I've already got stuffed nose. All right, fine, whatever.
Actually,
Whatever you do.
it's like a good spice. It'll actually clear it right up.
So
Oh.
what does this do exactly?
So,
Actually.
you said that this makes you a friend of the Vistani that allows you to navigate their mists freely, with no interruption. Which before
Sure.
you needed some kind of accompaniment.
Okay, yeah, sure. BOPHADES will say, "Well, BOPHADES is friend to all, including Vistani." So yeah, he'll do it, sure.
Okay. He performs the same thing on all of you. Thumbs on the temples, eyes go black, You feel a weird, like, kind of stinging through your sinuses, but then everything feels back to normal. He says, now you will be able to cross through with no interruptions. So, navigating will be a little bit easier if you happen to come upon any sights.
I thank you.
Okay.
That's mighty handy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shall we make our way north?
Oh, it's south.
South. We're going
Mhm.
south.
Yep,
Excellent. Thank you for that tidbit.
absolutely.
Friends?
Okay, everyone
All right.
down to travel?
Got a full belly,
Absolutely.
ready to march.
All right. So you are on your way. You leave the campsite. Your new friends bid you farewell. And you see this thick wall of mist open up and create a path. And that seems to be the only way to go. So you're able to follow this path, and it just feels like every 3 to 5 steps in front of you, more mist parts showing you the way to get through. And you find yourself on the other side, back out into the land of Borovia.
Excellent.
And the instructions were just basically a straight shot south off of a trail. Specifically, I just did that. Sorry, just a side note. I just did that like super millennial thing where I had a physical book and I tried to zoom in on the map. And I was really upset when I couldn't see what that was.
I can't
So,
say I've ever done that before.
not
that was my
working.
first time. Okay, that's small text. Got it. You were instructed to follow the Luna River.
Does the Luna River does it come from the lake or does it go
Mhm.
to the lake?
It comes from the lake.
Okay.
And they said where. Oh wait, no, it doesn't end there. They said it's about 2 miles following the Luna River, and you'll find yourself in the ruins of Berez, a somewhat swampy area.
Hmm. Cool.
Okay.
We're gonna make it back before dark, like approximately. Like we gave ourselves plenty of time, yeah.
Yeah, you can assess it's. I mean, it's only a couple miles, so you. It would only take you maybe hour-ish to get there, depending on your pace.
Okay.
Maybe a couple hours. That would be like a run. Couple
Yeah.
hours to get there, couple hours to get back. And it's pretty early in the day. It's not even noon.
Well, at least we won't be traveling back at night, though. From what we've heard around the camp, the forest are. They seem to be very precarious.
Yeah, this place ain't right.
No, there's definitely something strange happening here, and well, at least the Vistani are forthcoming with it, but the rest of the town, I don't know.
BOPHADES senses. Evil.
Yes, you do.
Reckon you're right, BOPHADES.
You know, for the way and manner in which he speaks, he's been very correct most of the time.
BOPHADES always states what he knows.
I whispered to Dade.
Is he having like a stroke? Like, I think it might actually be something more serious now.
I don't think we should address it until it actually becomes a problem.
Okay, but I'm just saying, if he falls down, I don't want to be underneath it. He looks like a very hefty man.
Well, I won't be able to carry him either, so
So if we leave him dead, we need a plan for this. If he has a heart attack right there.
we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Okay, all right.
So you are making your way. You're probably already a good 45 minutes down this path. There's forest on both sides, and the way this this particular part of the road differs is that a lot of the winding road you took towards Lake Zarevich was, again, very winding and either very like walled off by dense forest or cliffside. This seems to be a bit more open. There's the river to your left, and to your right is much more open grassland, and you're able to kind of see off. And because you're heading south, that is the west. So you see that western Borovia is a lot more open, a lot less dense. Seems like it's less populated. You can see the silhouettes of a couple buildings. You walk along and you hear a creepy laugh from time to time. You'll occasionally hear footsteps, but it feels like it's hard to really discern what's real and what might be just something playing tricks on you. See, I don't know. Pulling up your own dead body from a river could give anybody a rough head day.
Yeah, shake anybody's spirits, but not BOPHADES!
Definitely Rorn's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there anything like we don't have like I don't think anybody would, but is there someone like following us from the camp? Because I don't think they would just because, but I'm not sure if they're trying to keep an eye on us or not.
You don't see anyone, and with the way it's laid out, it would actually be. What's nice about this path is it would be a lot harder for anyone or anything to get the drop on you because it's much more open and exposed.
Okay.
On your way to Lake Zarevich, again, there was like dense forest on each side of the path. There was just plenty of places things could hide. But out here, it seems pretty open. It would probably take like invisibility or something like that. Something that, provides them with their own cover.
You
and
just see
stealth.
Dade just do this in front of him for a little bit and just keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like a lot of open land. Like no one seems to have inhabited this. Do these look like farms to any of you, or no?
What's our current surroundings look like?
It's pretty open. It seems.
Just like plains?
Yeah. Just some plains. Doesn't even seem like it's farm fields or anything that's really been not even abandoned, but inhabited.
Is there like a tree line somewhere or anything like that? Like anywhere, like not on the plains, obviously, but like behind us or like the east or west.
Yeah, on the other side of the river that you've been following to your left, it is more forest.
I kind of cover my hood, like I pull it over my head and I just kind of close it tight.
And I was like, I don't know if we should be crossing a place so eerily open. We need to remain under the guys and the hide under the trees. If
Do you
something
think-
attempts to jump us, we can see everything and they can see us.
Yes, so it seems as though neither one of us would have the advantage in that. But it is a bit strange that it is so open around here. Do you think this is a result of Baba Yaga?
Potentially. How's the plains themselves? Is there flora growing or is it just like dead land? Like is there grass and
It's a bit in between. It's not necessarily like beaming with life, but it's not dead or desolate. It's more just like parts of unattended grass, but also like a lot of just like flora that seems just uncared for. You kind of assess that just no one's here. There's nothing that really gives the impression that this place maybe was once inhabited and that's abandoned. You don't see any immediate ruins around. It's more or less just kind of untouched land.
All right, now hear me out. I sound paranoid, I know, but we're in a land that is infamously known to be filled with dead things. I mean, for the love of the gods. When we were in town, they suggested we find bones and bone soup. I understand where you're coming from, DAEDE. No one's clearly at the advantage if someone tries to jump us out here at the plains. But, and now hear me out, what if someone tried to strike us from under the earth? That's right, zombies, skeletons, undead.
BOPHADES immediately kind of like looks down under his feet and pulls his sword out and shield and points it down at the earth and says, "No undead fiend will surprise us as long as BOPHADES is here."
Now, I appreciate that. Does anyone have any of that mumbo-jumbo? I'm sorry, any divine magic, potentially to detect some sort of undead force that might be laying in wait?
And he just continues to you can tell that RORN's very uncomfortable right now, and he just continues to close his hood up a little bit.
BOPHADES is still like pointing his sword at the ground.
If only we knew someone who was attached and, affiliated with the divine.
BOPHADES is
If only.
still pointing his sword at the ground.
I elbow BOPHADES in the side.
BOPHADES,
If
like,
only
looks
we
over.
knew someone affiliated with the divine.
BOPHADES is affiliated
Would you
with
happen
the
to know?
divine.
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you. Would you happen to, are you able to, do you get heebie-jeebies when there are evil things around?
BOPHADES takes a big sniff, like, the stench of evil smells as horrific to BOPHADES.
And do you smell it now?
Undead are no exception.
What do you mean you're linked to the divine?
He looks up to BOPHADES.
BOPHADES was chosen by the gods to be a hero.
Yeah, like a gladiator, right? Or some sort of arena fighter?
That doesn't quite register with BOPHADES. He sort of like looks at him. Doesn't
I
understand.
lean down to Roar and I go, I think it's getting worse. The pauses are drawing out longer.
I'm just saying, we should probably finish the mission quickly and go to like a missionary or something. I'm
You're right, we
afraid
should
he's
pick
gonna
up
have a
the
heart
pace.
attack.
Day just starts walking faster down the path.
But I actually like him. He seems like a nice guy. I'm just saying, we gotta do something for him.
Just like,
As we're walking, BOPHADES is like got his sword and shield out and like is like like looking for like constantly, like everyone's walking totally normally except for him, who's like,
yeah. I don't mean to sound like a paranoid old kobold, okay? I'm just saying, maybe we should move like the long way around because I don't trust this open land like this.
were we told of another path, or were we only told this straight shot?
Only told of the straight shot.
I'm literally looking at Nate, just like, yes, good. Let your paranoia run through you.
I'm gonna play my jug. I feel like there's a lot of tension in the air right now, and use the light
RORN took a deep breath and just kind of calmed down because he does tend to work up in situations like this, and it's just, oh, geez, you have a good eye on the ground.
justice never sleep.
I trust those. I trust those guys. Oh,
Alright, hopefully that fixed it. Hopefully that unhecked it. We're having our fingers crossed.
Deheckification.
I'm gonna wait until the chat starts saying
Cast
fixed.
deheckification.
Yes. Yes. Anyways, BOPHADES, continue with what you're saying.
Oh, that
Yes.
was it. The eyes of justice never sleep.
Oh, okay. I don't know if it recorded or not.
You hear that? The eyes of
oh,
justice never sleep. We're safe.
The eyes of justice never sleep.
All right. I trust those eyes.
Y'all worry so much you're gonna get wrinkles.
Well, everyone's looking at the ground. I'm gonna look up at the sky and be like, just see if there's anything just like circling our heads in a menacing manner.
Nothing's circling your heads, and nothing's in the sky. But when you look up, you are at a point in the path where the river hits a junction, and the path itself is still pretty much a straight shot. But you see the river breaks off, and just around the junction, you notice mist. You notice a very dense fog just off the path ahead.
Does it seem like strangely similar to the fogs around the Vistani camp?
Mm-hmm. It's very, very thick mist, very thick fog, and it looks not naturally occurring. And it almost seems like just a wall.
Did Lady Sandra say that Baba the Yaga was Vistani as well? Or
She did not.
do either of you remember?
I'm afraid I don't.
Was anyone else paying attention besides me?
No, and he looks over and is like,
I don't remember. I don't think so.
BOPHADES was paying attention to evil.
And there wasn't any there, so. But good job, appreciate it. Excellent.
Vigilance is always required.
Well, do I recall if she mentioned that Baba Yaga was Vistani? I assume she would be because she's considered the mother of the devil, right?
That didn't come up, but she did not mention at all that Baba Saga was Vistani.
Baba Saga.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not completely off the mark to think that that she would be Vistani. Perhaps. Well, let's just forge ahead and see what happens and stay ever vigilant.
You want to walk through the fog wall,
Yes,
but we won't be able to see anything.
unless it parts as we walk.
That's what I was wondering.
Oh.
and
Mm-hmm.
I suppose we could check. And he just kind of pauses his beer a little bit.
Yeah, okay. But I say we walk like we do 10 paces. No, I'm willing to agree to disagree. 20 paces, but if it doesn't part, I say we get out of there.
BOPHADES holds his hands out and says, "Companions, grab the hands of BOPHADES."
He only has two hands, so I'm going to let you two take care of that.
I hop on BOPHADES' back as I always do.
Mm-hmm.
Grab the hands
Yeah, I'll grab. Sandor will grab his hand.
of
Okay.
BOPHADES.
I'll grab both of these hands.
I'll grab the hand of both of these.
I don't know why, but RORN, like, I think it's because of BOPHADES is like literally just wholesomeness that RORN is just completely like attracted to that, like as like a friend and like trust goes. So
Yeah.
he's like, it's simple, but it's trustworthy.
I mean, I guess we'll walk into the mist.
All right,
Where we're
so you hold both of these hands with Rorn up on your shoulders,
Mhm.
and as you
Sorry. Hold both of these hands.
and you approach the fog, and as you walk toward the mist, you see that by your feet it begins to part. And there's where we will take a quick 2-minute pee break.
Okay.
And don't go
Only
anywhere.
peeing.
Yep, only peeing and maybe refreshing on refreshers if anybody needs. But we'll be back in a couple minutes.
Water.
So those of you watching, don't go anywhere. Also, just wanted to throw this out there. We just hit $3,000. We are at $3,020.
Yeah!
Which is great. So thanks everybody for donating so far. Let's see how much closer we can get it to the 10K goal. And we will be... Yeah, let's do it. And we'll be back momentarily to see what is behind these mists.
Thanks, guys.
And we are back. Hello, everyone. All right. So, before the break, and for anyone maybe just joining, the team here woke up after their long rest at a Vistani camp and decided to investigate potentially the role that the mother of the devil, Baba Lysaga, plays in the strange happenings going on in Borovia. They traveled down the trail, a good probably hour at this point, where they encountered what they found to be more Vistani mist.
They are parting.
Slurp.
Slurp indeed. So you guys are walking through?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hand in hand.
I mean, I'm on BOPHADES' back, wherever he's going.
Yep. So you are seeing the same. Go ahead.
Sorry. I'm gonna do that one thing that, like, you know when you're a kid and like your uncle is stronger than you and he shakes your hand and he does like that thing where he makes your bones do that thing?
Yes.
I'm gonna do that to both of these hand.
Oh.
So he's trying to like do the
I'm trying to
weird
go, like-
roll knuckle thing to your hand,
Yeah.
both of these.
Wait, what? Wait,
I'm not
what's
strong, so let's see how this goes.
happening? Wait, what did he do? Sorry.
He's holding your hand and he's like messing with it in that way that
Oh.
like pops your knuckles around.
Oh, okay. Both of these will turn and say, "Both of these knows you are scared, but do not fear, for both of these is here."
I feel so safe. So very safe. Thank you.
So as you walk through, you're seeing the mist act in the same way, same exact way as when you left the Vistani camp. A good meter or two in front of you, the mist continue to part in a path. Veering left, right, all around, a really weird roundabout way, but you are following it. And as you continue to approach whatever is behind these mists, you slowly hear the sound of rain. You hear water falling.
Hmm.
Are we getting raining? Are we getting rained on?
Sorry, audio decided to be wonky again. Hopefully that's working. Okay, so you're not getting rained on, but you hear it
Like up ahead, or
Mhm. up ahead.
can we tell if we're still on like a plains, or if it's like forest now, or if we've changed scenery at all?
The ground beneath you seems the same, and you don't feel any kind of, well, it's hard to describe. You feel like you're physically walking the same grounds that you walked, but yet something seems different about where you're heading to.
It's more of like a feeling than a
Mhm.
real observation.
Yeah, it's more intuitive and emotional and mental.
Does the rain sound like it's hitting the ground or trees?
Ground.
Or ground, okay.
And as you approach, very slowly, you feel a drop hit the top of your head, and then another, and then a few at once. And then with a few more steps, it is raining. And as you continue, you see the mists again part in front of you, revealing a new scenery. So up ahead, you see you see what appears to be another campsite. It seems similar to the one you had seen previously, but one of the biggest differences is that this seems a bit smaller and more run down.
Is there a lake?
Yes, you see. Oh, wait, sorry. No, there is no lake here.
Okay.
You feel that this is like next to the lake, but it's not actually over it. Let's see. So you see 2 carriages this time. You see a few stacks of broken crates and barrels that seem to be in pieces. The carriage's awnings are old and withered, with large holes in them, basically exposing the bones of the cart. And next to a campfire that looks like it's just about dead, you see someone sitting there. You see the rain falling onto the face of an elf. Older looking elf. Not old man, but human equivalent of, say, like 50s. Long, dark, pulled back hair. A really dirty purple shirt under chewed up leather armor. And he sits staring at the last few flickers of flames as his campfire dies. And he doesn't seem to react to you at all.
BOPHADES will hold his shield above his head like a umbrella. To shelter him from the rain.
Okay.
And RORN, I guess, too. So he's gonna have to hold his arms all the way up.
Just make Rorn hold it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
What do you mean? What?
Whoa!
My
Don't like you.
diminutive friend, hold this.
Ah!
I'm still like, I like lick my arms out. I'm like,
All right. Whatever you need me to do, I guess.
I greet the elf in Elvish, and just to make him aware of our presence so that we don't startle him. Just be like, "Hello, kinsman. Did not want to startle you."
He replies, but doesn't turn to you. He says, "I haven't had visitors in a while."
We can see that. Do you mind explaining? No, I guess the situation here.
He says, "What situation needs explaining? It's another day."
Would you mind if I switched over to the common tongue so my comrades would be able to understand what we are saying?
And you all hear him reply to this Elvish and says, "Fair enough."
I look up, excited to be part of the conversation.
Thank you.
And turn into a toad.
All right. You turn into a toad. What do you do as a toad?
Enjoy the rain.
Okay. You enjoy the rain as a toad.
And also listen to this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
As a toad.
As a toad.
Mm-hmm.
BOPHADES will say, "Greetings! You stand in the presence. You sit in the presence of BOPHADES and his companions."
All right. And is there something I can help you with?
Well, if we are just cutting to the chase, then we are looking for a bog, a swamp. The, I guess, home of Baba Lysaga. You're not them, are you?
He looks to you. This is the first time he's actually shown physical attention to your presence and says, "You're looking for Baba Lysaga." Oh, let me guess. You're all traveling heroes, right?
No, we only have one of those. Can you guess which one?
BOPHADES is the one he was talking about.
Mm-hmm. And what is it you want with the Baba? Huh?
Just simple conversation. There's been happenings around, and well, people are curious if she's the source of them.
You want to talk? You want to talk to Babalas? Oh man! Thank you for
I said, well,
bringing.
let me rephrase. We would like to try to talk to.
Hmm.
I would say if he's like, oh, you want to talk to her? I'd be like,
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah. I will say this is the first time I've left in a long time.
Well,
So
glad
I
we can
thank
bring
you.
joy into your life, I suppose.
So you seek Lysaga and you want to talk to her and find out what's going on. What's going on? What is going on?
No, have you not heard? While people in town are seizing up and falling over, shattering teeth, and, well, it's interesting.
Town. What
Yes.
what is this town?
Hmm. Did we actually get the name of the town, or did we just know it as Borovia?
It's the village of Borovia.
The village of Borovia. I'm sure you've had to have been there at least once or twice.
I am familiar with it, yes. It still stands then.
As of yesterday, yes, it's still standing.
That's from what we saw. But they
Ah.
are in grand trouble, and we're looking to resolve it any way we can.
Well, we're hoping to help the Vistani as well, more than anything.
as well,
I feel like.
yes.
What and what do the Vistani, pray tell, need help with?
Well, everyone seems to think that they are the source of all wrongs and problems in Borovia.
Typical.
Well,
Ignorant, right?
you've been here quite some time, I would gather, or at least you've been around long enough to know a thing or two. And, well, we are at midday in our travels. Perhaps we can break bread and learn a thing or two from someone such as wise as yourself.
I'd say I know a thing or two about this place. But I don't know how much I want to help a couple of jokesters that are befriend of Vistani.
Well, the mists led us here. Let
Yeah.
us pass.
Yeah, so I assumed from the get-go you were friends if you were able to get in here. Must be
Does
nice.
that not make you a friend?
Friend?
What is your
No.
name? May I ask?
My name is Rahadin. And I live here. Regardless of how I feel about this situation.
Have they wronged you in some way? You seem to show a bit of disdain.
And he looks around, points at the carriage, says, "See what's left of this carriage?"
More nods.
BOPHADES looks over and then looks back and says, "Yes!"
That is my home. You see what's left of the fire?
Mm-hmm.
That is my everything else. And I am here because of those filthy fucking liars.
What happened? Do you care to share your tale? With a couple of fools?
Who may also end up in the same position you are in. Maybe you want to prevent that from happening again.
More lets us smile. Gives us a smile.
says, Not much else is going on around here, so might as well.
It's settled.
Is the campfire lit?
It is. It looks like it's dying. It's on its last, like, embers, but it's been that way this whole time.
Right. I would say Rorn kind of like claps his paws together and says,
Well, if we're going to be here for a while and share some tales, perhaps a little bit of wood for the fire. I'll be happy to assist you.
Sure. Knock yourself out.
I will stop being a toad at this point.
I forgot.
You got your fill of rain. You're feeling hydrated.
Hell yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
yeah, Rorn will, is there a source of wood nearby, or are we still kind of like in like this open plains with the mist?
This mist, this specific area that it's encompassing, is very small. It is probably like 15 by 15 feet.
Okay.
And there's no woods in here.
Maybe I'll, so pretty much from what I understand from the mist, you can walk in and out freely. The mist will always part.
Yeah, for you guys, because you're a friend to the Vistani now.
From what I saw before going into the mist, where was the nearest forest?
On the other side of the river.
How far are we looking at right there?
It's a good probably 10 to 15 feet wide with a relatively strong current.
Okay. I'll just start looking in my inventory to see if I can find something to help stoke the fire.
Sure.
While
Is
everyone
there
talks.
like anything wooden that's just obviously like trash, like old crates or anything?
Yeah, there's broken up old crates and barrels.
Sandor will just start grabbing that stuff and bringing it over to the fire area, and just he just was a toad, but looks at the elf guy, just kind of like,
Is it all right if we use these?
Won't do anything for you, but sure.
Is it still raining?
It's still raining, yes.
Can BOPHADES hold his shield over the fire so that it shelters the fire from the rain, so it can maybe get going a little more?
Yeah, you can try that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I'll start like poking as we get the wood stoked a little bit.
Yeah, so so you go to shield, add wood, stoke the fire, and it reacts the way it normally would. It starts to ignite and catch a little bit more, and after a few seconds of it being a full flame, it basically shrinks back down into a small, almost candlelight size.
Oh.
Does this seem like an arcane effect, or is this something I feel like I could shape water the rain away from it, as if like the rain is preventing it from catching?
You could try. It feels like regular
I'll
water.
shape water to get whatever moisture from the fire away, and then continually use the cantrip to like part the water over the fire.
Okay. You do that, and it's kind of the same thing. It seems like initially it helps stoke the flames and create a more powerful fire, and then almost like responsively after a few seconds, the fire brings itself back to a small size.
I stopped doing that then.
Rorn looked down, defeated, like, can't even start a fire. What? Am I getting old? What's happening?
And
I
said,
think it's hexed.
It's not hexed. I will let you know that. That's for sure.
I would look up at the man and be like, I apologize. Apparently, we can't even offer you that.
This whole place is their doing.
You keep saying they. Who are you referring to?
Oh, the Vristani that left me here. That exiled me here. That threw me here.
Not to intrude on your personal story, but why would they have left you out here, all alone? What happened?
Well, the blood era ended. The curse was lifted. And the Vistani were blaming anybody they could for those who took their way of life away, including myself. So they threw me in here, and I can't get out.
Well, what did they accuse you of doing during the Blood Era?
Well, you've heard of Strahd, the warlord, correct?
Yes, we heard of him over in the Vistani village. He sounded like a swell fella.
He was an incredible man. He was very, very powerful. And very, well, he understood. He was an incredible fighter. And
Was he a friend of yours?
he was closer to a brother to me. The bond we had was more than friendship could have ever been. I fought alongside him in war. We had seen things that nobody else could ever comprehend. And it bonded us. Like no one could understand.
Warren will nod sympathetically, and this is genuine sympathy.
I see. Losing a brother, whether by blood or bond, it's unfortunate. It's a tragedy, and I'm sorry that you've had to experience that, as I'm sure we've all experienced great loss during our lives.
Everyone roll perception.
13.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
Fuck.
Loading my dice.
7.
Okay.
21.
Okay. Sandor and Rorn, you hear voices. You can't really make heads or tails of what they're saying or how they're saying it. It's almost like you sense voices somewhere. And he continues to talk to you. He says, "The loss that Borovia suffered when Strahd fell, it was so much greater than anybody thought."
Now, are we talking about before or after he became a devil of some kind?
His so-called curse may have been the best thing that could have happened to this land. There was order, there was understanding, there was a system, and we weren't plagued with this outside world and its interference. It was its own self-contained world.
Rorn becomes shooketh, and kind of like the moment he said the devil before after, Rorn was under the conclusion that this was because from all the stories he's heard so far, Strahd is just a victim, essentially. Not necessarily a bad guy, but just was thrusted upon that role in history. But then after the devil, and he's just celebrating this, he's just like, he kind of lifts his eyes, along with hearing the
That's fascinating, friend. What kind of order? We've heard of one side, of course, and I'd be curious to hear more of yours.
Everybody roll perception one more time.
17.
Okay.
8. Not great.
9.
Okay.
20 this time.
Nice. So with that, BOPHADES and DAEDE, you start to hear voices as well.
Mm-hmm.
SANDOR and RORN, you hear the voices coming in much clearer. They're still a bit foggy, but you hear the screams of men and women and children being slaughtered.
Rorn would immediately stand at attention at this. He was kind of pushing the voices back to try and find more information out, but at this point it's becoming very clear.
Okay.
And he goes,
I apologize for interrupting. I wanted to know more, but ever since we entered this area, maybe I'm sounding foolish, but we've been hearing the voices of haunted individuals, and now I can't
hear
shake
it
this
too?
from my head. Yes.
I've heard something.
I thought I was hexed.
BOPHADES puts
not
his hand
hexed.
up to his ear to listen. Says, BOPHADES cannot tell what he hears.
What's
My
Rahadin's
friend.
response right now is his face. Sorry.
yeah, no, he's like,
My friend, I must know, because it's become a little troubling. What is this that I'm hearing? Is this land cursed? Can you tell me more? Educate a foolish old kobold.
He says, What is it that you hear?
The screams.
like he's been trying to like hide it back, but now it's just become so overwhelming. He's just like,
The screams. The slaughter of men, women, and children. It's awful. It's the worst thing that I've heard in my entire life. And I've watched my family burn up in front of me. Please, friend, tell me, what is this sound?
Says, you know, they all tell me. They all tell me they hear the screams.
You can't hear that?
I do not.
How long have you been here? I don't understand. We've only been here for minutes, and I can't get them out of my head. You can't hear them wailing?
Maybe he's accustomed to it.
If I could hear them, I couldn't see it bothering me any less.
How can this not bother you? Sure, they may be your kin's enemy, but they're still living individuals.
Oh, they...
Have you heard this at least once before?
It's like,
Have you become numb to it?
No, they're not living anymore, I can tell you that much.
Roar just kind of like bows down and begins like covering his ears, trying to like mute the screams.
Mm-hmm. It says, perhaps they shouldn't have stood in the way of the righteousness that was Strahd.
Rorn. Oh man, Rorn looks up and he just looks just angered at just the absolute coldness of this strange man while listening to just the sounds of this slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And
Roll perception for me one more time, just Rorn.
18.
Okay. You somehow perceive, you feel it in your gut and in your bones that these screams are coming from Rahadin. It feels like he is the focus of this. And at this point, everybody hears it as screaming.
Rorn is angered, and there's been several times that he wants to reach for his dagger just to end it, because this man is clearly hiding something. But then his eyes just focus, and he stares, and he kind of shakes his head a little bit, remembering back to his past. Don't take action, plan action. And he kind of rushes over next to BOPHADES' side, and behind BOPHADES, just kind of peeks behind him and looks at him and says,
You. It's coming from you. Why is the screams of these innocents coming from you?
Could be a number of reasons.
I would like the one, please.
Well, perhaps some of us are still cursed. Perhaps some of us can never truly be separated from our pasts.
Can I use divine sense to see if this guy's evil? Or
Yeah.
an undead or a fiend?
Let me see. So, divine sense is... You said it senses evil?
As an action, you can detect good and evil. Until the end of your next turn, you can sense anything affected by the Hallows spell or no location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet that is not by total cover. So it basically lets me know if this guy is a fiend or an undead.
You use that, and he is... Let me just see what the specifics say. He's not a fiend. He's not undead. But
Okay.
when you try to hone in and pick up vibes with your...
Yeah, for a vibe check.
Yeah,
Basically.
your vibe check.
Uh-huh.
You sense hella evil coming off of him.
Okay. BOPHADES will give you one chance to answer for your crimes.
Him with this it's this a expression of relief, think I'm not going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I just stare at this man, and I go,
He's serving his crime. He's been sealed away by our friends. I say we leave him to his punishment.
Yeah, I reckon that's the right call.
Well, what if he has
Rahadin
information for us?
Rahadin
No.
points at Rorn and he says, "The little one's perceptive. I guess it makes sense that when you take 1,000 lives, you must serve 1,000 lives in solitude. Perhaps this is some backwards form of justice."
Believe they call that a punishment.
Rorn immediately grips at the side of at the hilt of his dagger and rapier, within the cloak, and he's just squeezing onto the hilt as hard as he can. And he knows better, but he's like,
Do you feel anything towards what you've done? Please.
I sense these words from Roran, and I just kind of place a hand on his shoulder, just not so much as staying, but more of just comforting,
yeah.
calming.
You've been here for a while, I'm assuming. Has your punishment given you any sort of redeeming quality?
I've definitely calmed down about the whole thing a bit. I've had time to sit and meditate and catch my breath.
Oh boy.
But in the end, my loyalty lies with Strahd. And I
Your
will...
loyalty lies with the devil, not what Strahd was.
I do have a question.
Hmm.
The Vistani have been looked down upon and persecuted due to their being the favored children of Strahd.
Hmm.
And you too also outrightly favor Strahd. How have you two come at odds when both of you are looked down upon and favored by the same person, the same being, the same devil?
Hmm. See that? That is where the Vistani and I are different. All they want were the perks and the benefits. He favored them, and they got what they wanted. They're selfish. They love nothing but themselves. Now me. Strahd was close to me. He was everything to me. And he had a way and a vision that just... it made sense, and it made things work. I wasn't in it for me. I was in it for him. And my loyalty lies with him until the day I die. Which in here, I don't even know if can happen.
So do you have any idea about what is happening in Borovia as far as the illness that may be seizing those who live there?
He says, the last people I spoke to, the last interaction I had, was 20 years ago. More travelers that were friend to the Vistani. They were much less chatty than you. So this is all news to me.
Rorn you kind of hear him chuckle loudly while Dade's trying to get some information. Rorn just lets out almost like a rat-like cackle.
It's like, I get it. I understand now. The unright hatred that they have for the Vistani. It's you. You're the cause of it. You're the source of it. People look at the Vistani as some sort of demon, some sort of blight. And it's you. You've murdered hundreds, thousands, and they blame the Vistani, and they need to blame you. I've had enough of this. We're not going to get anything from this man. We need to leave now. He's serving his justice.
I
He's
grip my
serving his
hand on your
curse.
shoulder. And I
We
look
need
to
to go.
Rahadin. Is this true?
He says, when you are serving an ultimate purpose, there are no boundaries or regards, or anything off limits that can stop you from serving what is right. And you take what you need, whether it be material or life.
Rorn spits on the ground.
You hide behind your beliefs like a shield. But in the end, you're still wrong for what you've done.
And Rorn releases his dagger because he understands this is more a battle of belief than an actual battle of strength. And says, I've heard enough. We're leaving.
As Rowan turns away, I look to Rahadin and I go, is there anything... If there's anything... If there's any good, what can you tell us to help free people who have been persecuted as much, if not worse, than you for doing less?
It says, you want to figure out how to right this land. You want to figure out how things can be the way they are meant to be. If there is wrong going on in Borovia today, well, that's because it's fallen into disarray, because it has no structure, it has no vision, it has no ideals. It's simply turned into a shell of what its full potential is. So if there's anything going on out there that you heroes see as unjust or wrong or needs to be rectified, then you put the proper king back on his throne.
Fair enough. And if we are to survive our hopeful discussion with Baba Lysaga, how should we navigate that?
If I may ask, where is RORN at this point? Are you still like listening to conversation, or are you trying to...
I mean, he would never leave alone.
Mhm.
He's made his peace. He wants to leave. He wants to continue arguing, but he knows it's just gonna fall on deaf ears. So he is biting like his lip,
Mhm.
because there's so many things he wants to say to him right now, because he thinks it's ignorant. But he's staying close to everybody because a kobold never wanders off alone if they have
Mhm.
companions.
Okay. Rahadin goes back to speaking Elvish to you, Dade, and says, "What do you think about the throne being taken back? He belongs there. This world was what it was meant to be before he fell."
In Elvish, historically speaking, every land needs order. And for there to be order, there needs to be a leader. Now, that person doesn't necessarily have to be Strahd, but it needs to be someone.
Can you roll... Ow. Can you roll persuasion at advantage for me?
18.
Okay. He says to you, by the way, does anyone else speak Elvish?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Not I.
He says to you, "I can sense something about you. You understand. I think you have a better vision for this land than anyone else here does. So if you're going to speak to Baba," and he reaches into his pocket and he takes out a medallion that you instantly recognize is identical to the holy symbol of Ravenkind that you saw at the museum. He says, "You give her this. You tell her that you and I have an understanding, and she might give you a little less trouble."
I appreciate your help.
Like, now. Well, I guess there's not much I can do, because if I get out of here, that means you did your job. And if I never hear back from you, and this gift was in vain, well, unless you come back here, there's jack shit I can do about it, isn't there?
There is, here's to you making the correct decision.
Here's to.
And I place my hand out to see if he hands it off to me.
He hands it off to you, and you grip it. But when you tug, he like initially doesn't let go, and he looks you in the eyes. He says, "Bring him back to where he belongs." And he gives it to you.
I tuck it away in the breast pocket of my coat. And I just
Rorn
pat it.
just
give him that.
staring.
I'm suspicious.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Rorn's just staring at this.
Yeah, you see them. They're talking in a language you don't understand, and then he hands something off to him that Dade puts in his pocket.
Well, friends, shall we continue on our journey here?
BOPHADES will
Let's.
loudly and directly to Rahadin say, BOPHADES does not trust you!
Rorn would place like a hand up, I guess, on BOPHADES' hip because he can't really put it on his chest. And he says,
He's serving his punishment. There's nothing more that we could do than kill him. But there's no point for that.
No, because it would just be a quick release.
He has a point.
But Rorn says that obviously very difficult in hiding the fact that he's very suspicious of this transaction that's happening.
Well, get the hell away from him.
Yes, I'd like to leave this place now.
Which way should we
Yeah.
go? Continue south?
Ouch is all he says.
Were we pretty much under the impression that this entire thick fog situation was his prison, and
Mm-hmm.
there's not really much else in that thick fog
Yep.
to
Right.
explore? Okay.
That's my impression. I just want to get out of the fog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like back to the main road.
Yep.
As we make our way out of the fog, I'm just gonna kind of glance back and see, I don't know, just one look back.
He's gone back to just sitting in front of what's left of a fire.
Does he seem during our conversation? Does he seem to be like getting into like weird specifics, but like an elf from the woods or from like a higher society or?
Yeah, he specifically is, let me just confirm it, he is a dusk elf.
So is that, sorry for my lack of knowledge on
No, it's okay.
on that. Like is that like drow adjacent?
It's different from drow.
Okay. Okay.
They're a bit
Or
on...
would I even know this, I guess? Is
You
another great question.
would know.
Okay.
You'd probably know that. That's not like crazy exclusive knowledge.
Okay. Once we're back on the main road, well, to fill you all in on what happened there, he believes that Borovia lacks order. And I think we can all agree on that from what we've seen. He just thinks that it should be Strahd or someone of the like to do that.
BOPHADES does not trust him.
Well,
Likewise.
he's
So
had a lot of
tell-
time to think. He's had a lot of time, and while I do not necessarily trust him, and while we don't really need to because he did not give us any specific task, I think his information should be valued.
Did we see Dade grab that medallion?
My
Yeah, I
question
didn't hide
also.
it.
Like,
I
is
didn't
there
hide
was
it.
there any like hiding of that?
No,
Mhm.
you saw.
Not on my
Eh,
part. No.
Yeah, so I would Roar would immediately just look up to Dade and says,
No task, huh? So why were you given a gift?
I simply asked for assistance talking to Baba Lasaga. And he says that this, and I reach into my pocket and I pull out the medallion that represents Ravenkind. This right here will help us move to a discussion rather than a confrontation.
Does BOPHADES recognize this as the same medallion that we saw in the museum?
It sure does look like it.
Where did you acquire that?
It was handed to him.
Where were you for the last 30 minutes?
He's literally just he looks up. He's just like,
It was handed
But that was in the museum.
I'm sure it was like a replica or something. I don't think they have actual devil artifacts in the museum there, BOPHADES. You do know how this work, right?
After hearing Warren say that, I want to see if this is like a replica, a smaller version. I want to see if this is like, is there any inclination that I know that this is like the actual one and the one that was in the museum was a replica? Like, do I now have the actual one?
You don't really have a good way to tell if replicas are a thing, if that thing like teleported, or you have a fake, you have a real, if this artifact, what they say it was even real in the first place. So there's no real good way of knowing. It looks damn near identical to what you saw on display. Because what also made it more difficult was it was on like a glass display. You didn't get to handle it at the museum. You could only get a one directional view of it.
And
is
I
the
didn't
gem in the
see-
middle a real ruby?
Mhm.
And
is
I
the
didn't
metal
s-
real? Sorry.
It's okay. I didn't see Rahadin hand him that. We saw him hand him something, but we didn't know it was that, right?
Right.
Yeah. So we didn't. I didn't see him give.
oh, we saw him
Give
like
Dade this
actually hand him an
specific-
object.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. We didn't see
thought we-
specifically what it was.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I fill you in on him giving me the thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
BOPHADES looks at it and scowls, sort of furrows his brow, like he smelled something bad. Doesn't like it. BOPHADES! We'll never touch that!
Unfortunately, you don't have to. It was given as a gift to our dear friend. Dade, you seem to have had a, I don't understand the Elvish tongue, but it felt polite enough. Why would this man, who was obviously very zealous towards Strahd, once he became this devil man, why would he hand you such a interesting artifact? What do you think was going on in his head?
I think he thinks that if we can make things right in Borovia, perhaps he will be released for his part in what has come to pass.
And how does he do, in your infinite wisdom, how does he believe things will be made right? Because I've heard the screams of thousands of innocents, and he didn't seem to care. I don't trust in his judgment of right. So, how does he believe things will be made right?
I think he simply wishes for order in a land in which there is none. And at the time, the only order was the will of Strahd.
Right.
And now, there is nothing. Perhaps this is the man who wishes for order.
Roran looks down for a minute and says,
We've only been traveling for a short time now. And I'm sorry for being confrontational and upfront. But Dade,
worries,
what do you believe is right? What can we do with this? And what do you believe will be the after effect?
Well, I hope for the best. And we'll simply cross that bridge when we come to it. No sense
BOPHADES,
worrying about something we don't know.
really quick, BOPHADES, as this conversation's going on, and as Dade is talking to Rorn and, gesturing, talking with his hands a bit with the holy symbol in his hand, you find that as it's out, your center of focus is just dead set on it. Like you cannot stop watching this thing. And there's a magnetism to it that you find.
So yeah, while that's happening, I feel like Thorn would kind of press the matter further. Like he shakes his head. He's like, "No,
There's no jump off a bridge, cross bridge. We'll deal with it when we deal with it. In a perfect world, what do you expect to happen? You're holding a strange object that a man who's committed a war crime has given you. I need to know before we press forward. I'd rather not fix things. I'd rather prevent them, especially if it involves the lives of innocents.
I stop walking. I get down on a knee, get to eye level with Ron, and just place my hands on his shoulder. And I just say, from everything that I've read, there is no perfect world. We can only do the best we can with the hand that's been dealt to us. And that's exactly what I intend to do.
You sure are dancing a jig around his questions.
I love it. I love it. Roar is
Now, you don't
visibly
intend on
taken.
helping that fella, do you?
What I do, and like now I'm almost at the same level as both of them. I turn to Sandor and I just go, what I intend to do, I tend to do what I think is right. And whether that benefits him or not is not a concern, because as long as we all do what we think is right, what wrong can happen?
Okay.
What is right for you and what is right for BOPHADES may not be the same.
Rorn stops moving at this point. Because in Rorn's head currently, he just hears Dade literally talking circles and like something he would hear from like a diplomat or a politician. And he's just like,
Then give the medallion to Sandor. If we're doing what's right anyways, I would feel more comfortable if someone else was holding that. The ends justify the means. Right, Dade?
I wait for a moment to hear if the fable has anything to say.
I was literally just gonna say, you hear a voice say to you, dude, just give them and tell them whatever the fuck they want. It doesn't matter who's holding that.
Sure. Here you go, Sandor.
I take it, put it somewhere safe.
BOPHADES, you like just watch it as it's handed like across hands right in front of you, like, oh. And as it was like handed off very close to you, you almost felt like a magnetic tingle in your face as it grew close to you.
Is it on like a chain?
Oh,
Matter of fact, I might as well put it on.
I suggest tucking it in. I'm sure something of
course.
value is wanted in these lands.
Yeah, I'd put it on basically to have it be more secure, and then put it underneath my clothing, on my animal skins.
after this is passed off, Rorn kind of watches the transaction. He just kind of like takes a big, just like deep breath, and then lets out what is like an audible sigh of relief. Like, and he looks down, and he looks at Dade, and he just kind of like gives him like a pat on his hand.
I'm still kneeling, so you can hit my shoulder.
Oh, he's still kneeling? Yeah, he just kind of like, sighs, and he looks up like straight at Dade, and just kind of like, at that point, I would say just like a gentle like pat on the side of the head, and said, you know,
I'm, as a kobold, as a small creature who's been alone for a long time, I have to take any precaution. You seem like a good lad, Dade. I apologize if I've offended you. I just have to make sure that we don't repeat the sins of that madman. You understand, right?
I do. And I do
Thank
not
you.
fault you.
Then thank you for going along with this.
and he nods and gives a smile, like his eyes water a little bit, and he just smiles and he just nods, And he's like, well, then let's continue this. And in Roard's mind, okay, we took care of it.
So as you continue down the path, you find yourself trekking through thicker mud. You see that the trees and regular vegetation have transitioned into vines and hanging leaves and strands of greenery off of really trees growing out of really thick, dark, murky water. And you're in what you're suspecting is, according to the directions, the swamp that you were meant to find near the ruins of Berez. And you're walking through this swamp, and the path becomes much less clear. The water becomes roughly like ankle deep. It's
That being like audio.
It's like,
Audio.
yes, thank
Everyone
you.
Everyone catches up, and they're like,
Every other time I've been able to catch it before it even hits stream, so I've been able to switch fast, but that one got past me, so.
Yeah, no, it's fine, it's fine.
So you are in this swamp. I'd like everybody to roll perception.
Not an advantage?
Nah, not this time.
But I always get advantage, right?
Fuck!
9.
9, 10, 7.
I'm rolling so bad.
21.
Okay.
21.
So only BOPHADES, how mighty BOPHADES is so perceptive in his ways. You see very out of the ordinary is, as you're walking through the swamp, there is an area of dirt slightly above what is this puddle water level. That's about a circle that's like a diameter of like 15 by 15 feet ish. And it looks like freshly dug up ground.
Okay.
And everywhere else, there's just trees. There's logs on the ground. And with your roll, you see footprints in the mud walking away from this this large mass of dirt.
Okay.
And these oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, does it look like is it like longer, or is it just like a mound? Like, does it look like a grave?
No, it's a large kind of flat mound.
Okay.
So like, sorry, I'm probably not describing it great, but circular, about 15
Okay,
feet in diameter. Yeah.
Okay.
15 feet in diameter. And it's just like, it looks unnaturally, like well-kept circle of dirt
Okay.
with footprints walking away from
Okay.
the dirt. Now these footprints, what's very interesting about them is that they are not human. They are what look like large, like almost like 4 or 5 foot long bird
They're huge.
talons.
Oh wow.
Do I know of any creatures of that
Could be a
description?
big ass bird.
BOPHADES has spotted mysterious footprints.
Spotted a big ass bird.
Bird. Well, he hasn't seen the bird yet.
I think Sandor would look through the the dirt because he is a mudman. That is his family name is Mudman.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna look through the dirt for any interesting dirt objects.
Okay.
What
did-
do you see, Sandor?
There's not much in the mud there, Mudman. It just seems to be dirt that isn't below the puddle floor level.
Is it loose, like it was like maybe dug and then thrown into a pile?
No, it's actually pretty sound and
It's like packed.
yeah,
Is it wet?
not as wet as you'd think it would be.
Okay.
Can I roll a survival check to identify the tracks or the creature
Yeah.
that the tracks might? Yeah.
Same. I
rolled
have
a-
a high that.
I rolled a 17.
Okay.
Not as good. 14.
Okay.
My little kobold rat nose sniffs at the tracks.
With your knowledge of large birds of prey,
Large beards.
the only birds or bird-like creatures that would match these footprints would be either a dinosaur or a dire ostrich.
I look and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself and I stand up like immediately. And I'm like,
All right, so what do we do about Baba Yaga? Is he like a giant bird or something? Because this is fucking ridiculous.
and I'm like, pointing at the track.
Does anyone else know exactly what this is?
Can't say I've seen anything like it.
Are there dire ostriches around here? Because I don't think I've seen one of those before.
All
I
I've
don't
read of
think I wanna
Barovia
see
is
one.
in books. I don't think so.
At that point, you all feel the ground rumble rhythmically. You hear in the distance kind of a
Immediately pull out my weapons. Like
Oh, yeah.
immediately.
Hands
I
up
think
and-
dire ostrich.
Yeah. BOPHADES will draw his sword and shield.
Yeah, I pull out my great club
We're all ready.
and I will cast Shillelagh on it as a bonus action
Ooh.
to
Okay.
get fucking ready.
Mage armor.
Yeah.
So this sound, it grows. The ground continues to rumble more and more with each little vibration. And what's concerning about that is you still don't see it. And as it carries on, this it feels like miniature earthquakes. And you just barely start to get a silhouette off in the murky distance. And you still can't really tell what it is. You see what looks like a shape with long legs walking.
I think we should hide.
Is there any place to hide? Because I'm scurrying and
Is there
hiding.
a forest nearby that we get a tree?
You're in a swamp, so there's lots of trees, logs. There's plenty of places to hide.
I'm running behind a tree, just like
Yeah.
high knee through the muck.
Same, and I'm
Behind a tree.
using a stealth check. I got a +8, so this better be good.
Yeah, everyone can roll stealth.
That's a 15.
And I'd say at advantage because it's pretty far away.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
Oof. That's a 1.
That's a 26.
Nice.
That's that now it's a 20. So
Nice.
14.
Okay.
11.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't need much because it's pretty far away. So you all find places, various, logs protruding out of the ground, trees to hide behind, bushels to hide in. And as this stomping grows, at this point you kind of like jumped out of the way of the path, and now you more or less only have real good sight on that mound of dirt. And the stomps grow loud and louder and louder and louder and louder. And you start hearing other noises accompanying it. You hear a lot of branches breaking as it's walking through trees. You hear wood creaking, which is kind of weird. But it seems to be moving adjacently with the sounds. And then as this thing approaches, you see before you two huge, basically ostrich legs that are a pale pink, a weird flesh tone color, that are connected to the bottom of a house. A circular wooden house that looks like it was constructed in the shape of a gigantic tree stump. And this thing just walks to the middle of the mound, and it circles around, and it circles, and it kind of like bends down the front of the house. Like, it almost looks like it's like sniffing the ground. And it sits back up and then settles on the mound.
Do we get splashed with mud and swamp water?
Oh yeah, it makes like a wave of just gross muck water.
Hell yeah, I'm into it.
Mm-hmm. And this thing sits in front of you.
Wait, so like, are we all around the same tree? Or are we all like separate trees? Yeah, are we able to see each other?
You're separate, but when you all went to hide, you all took note of where everybody was going, and you're all within probably like 20 feet of each other, so you have a good gauge.
Okay.
You're all kind of hiding between various trees that is circling this mound.
I just kind of like peek at everyone looking at him, just like,
Dade, as you're looking around towards your companions for reassurance on what to do, the rest of you see vines crawling up behind him, and they ease and curl up as they start to wrap around, and then you immediately feel these vines constrict around your neck, and you hear a voice from behind you say, "Intruders." And that's where we'll stop.
Wow. Stab.
Dope.
I
The
already
hut.
know what I'm shouting first thing next week.
No,
Mhm.
you.
We were so close to initiative this time.
I know, we were like almost there.
We were,
Maybe
we
we'll
were
fight
right
something
there.
next time.
One day you will fight something. One day there will be combat in Dungeons and
We'll
Dragons.
fight something besides a fire.
Well, hell yeah, guys. Thanks again for joining and playing. That was a blast. I
Yeah.
hope you guys had fun.
Oh, yeah.
Our Tiltify, our fundraiser is at $3,200. So thank you guys. That's awesome. The link is down in the description. It is also, I think, no, it's not on the screen, but it's posted everywhere. It's the Dungeons and Distancing Tiltify. Again, that is raising money for direct relief to combat COVID-19. So Doctors Without Borders, we are doing everything we can to try and flatten this curve, fight this thing, help in every way we can. So if you are able to, if you have money to spare and you want to put it towards this, feel free to donate at the link. And once we hit, well, nothing special is planned yet, but we have that goal for the end of the campaign, which we still have a few weeks left, and it's very exciting. So let's go around really quick if anyone wants to plug anything, and we'll do this popcorn style. So I'm gonna popcorn to Octo. What do you got?
Hey, what's up? I'm Octo. You can search on likehost.com for OCTOPIMP, and that's the only place I will show up. You can also use Netscape Navigator to find me at OCTOPIMP. I am exclusively a Wizarding 101 streamer. That's all I stream. That's it. The only thing. And that's it. Popcorn Brett.
With this popcorn moment, I'm gonna go ahead and get OCTOPIMP really good by pitching his Twitch channel, twitch.tv/OctoPimp. Head on
I've never
over,
heard of
make
that
sure
before. I don't know what.
Follow OctoPimp
Yeah.
on twitch.tv/OctoPimp, and I'd
Mhm.
greatly appreciate that. Popcorn over to date.
um, uh, you can find me at the Dan Rudd on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, and then go listen to Boy Hero Band on all social media platforms, and then also Boy Hero on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever.
Oh yeah, Boy
Blah, blah,
Hero.
blah.
Boy Hero was on the new My Hero Academia cover that we just posted to this channel, along with Morgan
Oh,
Barry.
yeah.
So fun thing.
Hell yeah!
Hell
It's
yeah.
really good. And then Popcorn Hunter. I hope that point works.
Not
did.
to me, but it may be on screen. I don't know, whatever. Hi, yeah, I'm Hunter, aka Dookie Shed. If you want to find me anywhere on the internet, mostly YouTube, it's just look for Dookie Shed. You could just follow me on Twitter, and that'd be cool. And yeah, that's all I got.
Sweet. Oh, and then my I've got a cover album coming out this month on 420. Nice. Music videos start tomorrow, and we're uploading 3 a week, so make sure you're subscribed to this channel. You're already watching. But the album's cool. We've got a whole bunch of guests on it. It's really awesome. I can't believe it's a real thing and it's finally happening. So get excited.
Hey, Nate, can I get one of those cool shirts?
Yeah, you can at sharkrobot.com/Nate wants to battle.
There you
Be sure to
go.
order your CD
Nice.
bundle.
Nice.
Actually, yeah, there's actually only like a couple hundred bundles left, so we're running really low. So if you want one, go pick one up. But more importantly than that, before you spend money on
That's not an overstatement.
It doesn't affect you. Roar's gonna come to your house, point at you, and